Hello, everyone. Welcome to video 2, the interview and the process. I am still Tasha van Sail, and in this video, I'm just going to focus on a few things. The manual contains a lot of information that you should go through, and I'm not going to repeat that, but there are a few areas that I do want to touch on for in the interview. It is important to get a quiet place where there's no interruptions or distractions. You want to keep the thoughts and the thinking of your participant around what they've eaten for the 24-hour recall the previous day, or in the QFFQ for the last 7 days. So you want to keep them focused, and therefore you don't want any interruptions or distractions. So it's also important to, when you enter the household, to unpack your dietary kit and make sure that you can try to sit across opposite from the participant so that you can do a good interview, and also you can explain how the dietary assessment kit works, and give examples on how that will assist them to quantify or identify the food. And while you are busy with your interview and you ask questions around what they've eaten, don't look surprised or shocked or have extreme facial expressions, because that might put the participant off and they will not communicate openly with you. So give them time to answer, remain professional, even if they give you information that you've never heard of, or you've never experienced anything like that. Still remain calm and neutral and professional, and keep your interview going. Record what they've given to you. If you would like to come back to that later on, just to confirm what was answered, you can do that. But also, again, remember to stay neutral and just ask that they, was this the correct information? And yes, and have an open posture to make them feel comfortable, and so that they can feel relaxed around you, and also answer freely what you ask from them. And stay focused, stay on food intake, what they've eaten. Don't let the conversation go somewhere else. Keep it food related. Keep it to the last 7 days or the last 24 hours for the 24-hour recall what they've eaten, or the last 7 days for your QFFQ, to make sure that you keep yourself as well as the participant focused. Always be patient. And don't rush your participant. Don't let them feel, okay, they are answering too slowly, and you're pushing them just to get an answer, because later on they will just give you any answer. They'll just give yes or no or yeah, what. So make sure that you listen to them, listen carefully, ask if you do not understand, write everything down if you are not sure about the food item, but make sure that you listen, that you are patient. And then at the end, thank them for their valuable time. You will see in all of the training that afterwards you must thank the participants for their valuable time. You are moving into their households, their area, and you're going to take up quite a long time from them. The 24-hour recall and a QFFQ together, as you've seen in the manual, can take up to 2 to 2.5 hours together. So make sure that you are thankful when you are done with all of the data collection. Okay. And so the process for the data collection would be that you will start with the dietary intake questionnaires. So 24-hour will be done first. So you will remind the participant what they've eaten in the last 24 hours. and then you will continue on to the QFFQ, which is then on the last 7 days. And then you will continue to the rest of the questionnaires that would be on the tablet, and you will also then continue on with the anthro that you have to do. So the 24-hour recall is done first, your QFFQ, and then the rest of all of the measurements and questionnaires will then take place. So as you've seen in the manual, we are making use of the multiple pass method to collect the data from the 24-hour recall, or to collect the food intake for the 24-hour recall. So you will start just with a list of foods throughout the different eating occasions, your breakfast, mid-morning, snack, lunch, and so on. Then you will go back to the 7 forgotten foods that is listed in the manual as well, and make sure that your participant didn't forget about those. You will then also go on to the third step in the multiple pass method would be then going back to put the detail in and also review your list of foods. So you will go back and you will put in preparation, your coffee with sugar and milk, how much sugar and milk was added, and just to review, go through the day quickly again, ask them, okay, so this is what I've listed, and then you can just do a final probe to make sure that no other foods or items were omitted during your interview. So the process, the full process until we've captured the data for both of these interviews or these questionnaires is you've got your interview with the 24-hour, the interview will be done by the field worker, and then the coder will do the coding of the processed foods, the coding of the food items according to the food composition tables, and the quantifying according to the food quantities manual, and then it will be captured in a data sheet. So it's almost the same for the QFFQ, although there's only the interview done by the field workers, and then the coding, quantifying, and capturing that is done by the coder. So there's no coding or identification of processed foods in the QFFQ. We're making use of the 24-hour recall to identify the processed foods, and therefore when we go through how to do the 24-hour recall, you will see that it is very important to get enough detail from your participant on the foods that they've consumed in the last 24 hours. Okay, so that is quick, very short about the interview and the process. During the face-to-face, you will also get a little bit more practice on how the interview will work. You will be guided and also assisted on doing the interview, and you will also see how the process then goes when you are doing the practice for the 24-hour recall and the food frequency questionnaire. So please move on to the third video, which would be on how to do the 24-hour recall. Thank you.